Jim just asked me if we had any more flooding. We've done all the flooding
You've done
stories.
them all, huh?
We've done all the flooding stories that we have, yes, and it turned out to be not so much of a flood,
right.
although there are still some areas that people are going to have to watch, as we said earlier.
Right about that. I wish I could say no more rain, but, you know, I can. It looks to me like we have a chance of more rain, actually, right on through Friday. Hate to say it, but we're on the border here in Tulsa. You know, we have flooding problems reported in Creek, Tulsa, Kay, Lincoln, Okfuskee, and Okmulgee counties. I have some rainfall reports down there, and they're really some whoppers. Start out by looking at our current conditions. Right now, under cloudy skies, there it is at 57 degrees, a dew point of 53. Now, that's the temperature at which you'd become saturated, so that's more or less the minimum temperature forecast for tonight, and you'll see that in a moment. Relative humidity, 86%, a light northerly wind, and a rising barometer, 30.05 inches of mercury. This really tells the tale. We have cool air down over Oklahoma, a light northerly wind, last hour or so, and there is a chance, again, of that moisture creeping back our way and a chance of some precipitation coming up later on. Let me show you the temperatures around and rainfall reports around the area now. Let's start out with about 2.5 inches of rain here in Tulsa over the past couple days or so. Looking up to the north, we're looking at 1 to 2 inch amounts generally to the north of us, but immediately to our south and southeast, there we run into the heavier amounts. In Beggs, 10.7 inches of rain, 8 low to clear our region, so a chance of rain each and every day through Friday. There's hopes, though, of a decent weekend for Oktoberfest.
Good.
And let me welcome Jill to our 10 o'clock cast.
Thank you very much, Jim. Appreciate that.
You betcha.
Thank you, Mr. G.
You bet.
Now, we're going to talk about sports in a few minutes. Not right now, in just a minute. And if you are an OU football fan, you may not like the new Top 20 poll.
But if you're a Cards fan, you'll like what Bill Tegans has to tell us next in sports.
Your thinking changes, your attitudes change. I even find myself listening to KBEZ a lot, and I mean a lot, and I never thought I'd find...
One of the reasons that my kids are getting where they can take good care of me. Terry's a Methodist minister and helped me with my spiritual needs. Steve's working in tax accounting and Stan's working in a bank. Maybe he can help me borrow some more money. Tammy's studying law and Stacy, bless her heart's going into social work. So if I get to giving away too many free cars, maybe she can get me on welfare. So you come see us. I'll make you the best deal or I'll give you the car free. That's Andy Ewing Toyota in Muskogee.
Want to climb the corporate ladder and the Colorado Rockies?
Take off with an old friend. Take off with Frontier.
I don't want to make any enemies here, but I've got to say we Dodger fans are real upset about the way the National League playoffs are going.
You should. You guys blew it 3 games in a row. But we would like to welcome you, Jill. Also, folks, you should know that Jill is married to Bob Stevens, so be nice or your husband's in deep trouble.
Don't hold
That's
that
all I want to
against me.
say. No, that sounds pretty tough. Cardinals did it again today. They swept the games in St. Louis, now lead the Dodgers 3 games to 2 with the series headed back to Los Angeles. Cardinals jumped on Dallas, knocks off the Longhorns, but drops in the poll. Michigan is number 2 now, and they'll play Iowa in the big matchup 1 and 2 this weekend. Sooners dropped to 3, then it is Arkansas all the way up to 4, and then Florida, Penn State, Nebraska, Auburn, BYU, and Air Force. Ohio State is 11, OSU drops to 12, then it's Florida State, Baylor, and Alabama, Georgia, LSU, UCLA, Army, and Tennessee. The Oklahoma Sooners got some good news on the injury front today. Spencer Tillman returned to practice. Also, Tony Casillas should be back this season. It looked for a while like he would miss the rest of the year because of that knee injury, but now it doesn't look quite that bad, so that's good news. Meanwhile, OU linebacker Brian Bosworth is the Big 8 Defensive Player of the Week. He had 14 tackles against Texas, plus a pass interception. He was fantastic in that game, and he says even with Casillas out, OU still has a great defense with Curtis Williams filling in at nose guard.
6:40 play in the third quarter. He's going for all of it. Todd Dodge.
We got full confidence in Curtis Williams. When he comes into a game, we know what he can do. His ability is just as great as Tony's at some point. Anytime a younger player comes into a game, we just take them under our wing and they kind of live up and play to our standards.
Meanwhile, TU's Steve Gage, the Hurricane quarterback, is the Missouri Valley Conference Offensive Player of the Week. Steve had a great game last weekend against Long Beach State, 11 of 19 passing, rushed for 96 yards, 3 touchdowns as the Hurricane wins for the second time this year, 37-35, the final over Long Beach State. Well, here we are in the middle of football season. Hockey is underway. Baseball is still going. And tomorrow, basketball practice officially kicks off for college teams all over the country. At Oral Roberts University, things should be interesting this year. Tonight was media night at the Mabee Center. There's the new coach, Ted Owens, and all kinds of new faces this year out there. Some of the returning guys look a lot different from last season.
We're going to run a little bit more. Last year, we were a little bit under the reins more, but this year we're going to let it all hang out, and to be able to do that, I had to lose about 10 pounds so I can get up and down the floor a little bit easier. Coach Owens told me he wanted me to be a consistent threat from 15, 17 feet, and that's what he...
Lots of stuff going on.
You bet.
Thank you, Bill. Still ahead on Eyewitness News, country music stars are shining tonight.
And we'll find out and take another look at which ones shine brightest in just a moment.
Clothing for Eyewitness News provided by Harold's.
Well, hi, everybody. It's time to make a deal at Reese's.
Quality rock from the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. The new 104.5 KMYZ.
Now here's Jim, another look at that weather for tomorrow.
And I predict a 50% chance the Cardinals and Royals will be victorious. No, it's going to be damp and cool tonight. Just a slight chance of rain tomorrow.
Like to play them safe, don't you,
You
Mr.
betcha.
G? I don't blame you. Thank you, Jim. Jill.
Okay. The Country Music Association honored the best in country music in Nashville tonight. Ricky Skaggs was named Entertainer of the Year during the 19th Annual Award Show. The mother-daughter group of Naomi and Winona Judd won the Vocal Group of the Year. Anne Murray and Dave Loggins were named Vocal Duo of the Year. Former Texas rancher George Strait received the Album of the Year award, while Chet Atkins, Mr. Guitar, won Instrumentalist of the Year award for the 5th time in a row. The winners were chosen in balloting by members of the Country Music Association.
Good. How does it feel after your first day on the job?
Feels great. Couldn't
Good.
be better.
Good. I told you that 10:30 would always come. So does
He's right.
10:43, and we're out of time. Good night, folks.